What is up, guys? It's Gamerverse back again, here to do another review for you guys today, man. Today we are reviewing Outlast. Yes, Outlast, the 12-year-old game from Red Barrel Studio, an independent game studio based in Montreal, Canada. The original game was released on September 4th, 2013. I think I was like 13 years old when that came out, and it released for PC via Steam, and the PlayStation 4 version was released in February the 4th, 2014, and the Xbox One version at June 19th, 2014. But yeah, in this video we'll be reviewing Outlast and seeing how the game holds up in 2025. So all gameplay footage that you see in this video was recorded on PC, but like I said, the game is on console as well, so you can get it on console if you are a console player. But the game was initially just released for PC. At the time, they were not really planning on dropping it on console, but then the game became so popular on PC, a lot of YouTubers started playing it, and that kind of made the game blow up, and the studio got all of the funds that they needed in order to port it over to console. So yeah, I'm doing this review in 2025, and as you guys know how I do my reviews, if you don't know, I like to break up my reviews into segments, so basically topics and chapters, and I discuss the video, and then at the end of the video I do give the game a final score, and then hopefully you'll decide if you do want to play the game or not. If you don't, but yeah, let's get into it. Let's talk the first topic. Let's talk the atmosphere and the story. It's based in this Mount Massive Asylum, and the design still creates a lot of dread. The use of darkness, like claustrophobic spaces, and the lighting, the sound design as well, even like the ambient noises and the eerie silence. The jump scare audio that they use in the game is pretty scary. Like, I played the game back when it came out on PC. Back then I obviously didn't have a proper PC, but I didn't record any gameplay. I wasn't a YouTuber back then, and I didn't certainly make videos, but still I watched other YouTubers and I played it myself. And replaying it now at 60 frames per second on a 4K gaming computer, it's just so nostalgic and also very cool. So yeah, the story is basically that you are this journalist coming to check out this asylum and get some stories on it, but what awaits you in this asylum is so dreadful. Like, there's these creatures around, or not creatures, but like people that has been experimented on, and they just gone crazy. And you're a journalist with a video camera, right? So you got to record all the important info so that you can have a story for the press, and that is your goal basically. So you got to be really careful, and you got to explore this asylum and see what dread awaits you. But obviously you are very scared, and you go through all of these like things happening through the asylum. And the story is very well rounded. It takes about 6 to 7 hours depending on how fast you play. Speedrunners are doing it in 4 hours. Some people like speedrun the game, they did it in 3 hours, but it all depends on how you play. So yeah, that's it for the story and the atmosphere. Next, I do want to talk about the enemy design, basically the AI, right? Memorable enemies are in the game, actually, like the Chris Walker and the twins. Those are one of the most memorable parts of the game. But the enemy design is basically like this: there's a chase happening, you can't fight, you've got a camcorder and you can only record certain things, and you can hide away, but you can't really fight. And there's a lot of unpredictability that keeps the tension in the game high and keeps the scare factor in the game high. The AI behavior, it feels a little bit dated now, but back then when it came out, it was actually awesome, because I feel like there's so much horror games that followed in Outlast's footsteps. And now that gameplay mechanic of a horror scarcity is something of the past. But I mean, if you still haven't played Outlast for the first time, this will kind of feel fresh to you depending on how much horror games that you played that's similar to Outlast. It will definitely depend on that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that is the enemy design. Next, I do want to talk about the gameplay mechanics. The night vision with the camcorder, right? It plays a big role in the gameplay and the fear of the game and the point of the game. You're gonna be on edge in the game. You're gonna be afraid in the game, and you gotta manage the battery of this camera. There's batteries scattered throughout particular parts in the game, and you gotta find these batteries. If you don't, you run out of batteries and you're stuck in the dark. Back in the day when this came out, this gameplay mechanic was genius. And how it compares now to modern horror games is just insane because there's a lot of games that followed in that mechanic, and it's pretty cool. So you got to move it around in terms of gameplay. You got to find and do particular things to progress in the story. You got to find the security badge. You do this, go through there, go through that, and you gotta hide. Of course, you gotta hide from enemies that are strong and powerful, which you, like I said in the beginning of the game, like you of the video, sorry, that you can't actually fight enemies in the game. You just a reporter with a camera, and these enemies are like huge. So best you can do is run away and hide, or run away and progress in the story. So yeah, just a little bit more back on like the story, the mystery of the Markov corporation. This actually falls into the DLC as well, which we will talk about a little bit later. But the story unfolds through the documents and environmental storytelling. The narrative is still quite engaging 12 years later because of how articulate it is and how they designed the game to be this way. So that's pretty cool. Next, I do want to talk shock value, and graphical wise. So the graphical content in the game has a big impact on the horror experience. Back in the day, these graphics were like, obviously PS4 era. It was like one of the best, and controversial, and there's a lot of disturbing moments in the game that really hit hard, especially in 2025. Comparison like to today's horror standards, it still kind of holds up. And just keep in mind that this is the first Outlast game. There are Outlast Trials, there's Outlast 2, which do look a little bit more graphically better. I never had a chance to play Outlast 2 yet. I might even have that review maybe soon on my channel, so stay tuned for that. And then yeah, this is the shock value and the graphics. Like, the graphics aren't that bad. Like, you can set your graphics to very high, to ultra basically on PC, and get a steady 50 to 60 frames per second in the game, depending on your hardware, of course. So yeah, that's it for graphics, shock value. Next, I want to talk final verdict. Oh, no, let's talk DLC before we talk final verdict. So DLC, the whistleblower, is added to Outlast 1. It's just another like hour story that's added to it. It's a DLC, right? So it's like an hour story that's added to it. You can finish it in 2 hours depending on how you play, but it's a pretty cool way to round up the story for Outlast 1. You get to have a more deeper understanding of the corporation and why they did these things to these people, and that was pretty cool. So you get this extra game mode depending on what version you buy of the game. You get this DLC. The game should be like dirt cheap right now, so you won't pay probably more than 100 or 10 bucks for it. So yeah, depending on where you are in the world, right? So yeah, but it should be the same value, so you won't pay that much for it. Next, I do want to talk final verdict. Who should play Outlast in 2025? Was it worth revisiting, or maybe you want to try it for the first time? And of course, I'll also give my final score. I think anybody who's a fan of horror games in 2025, if you haven't played Outlast yet, give it a try, and it will definitely be worth revisiting. depending like how last you played it. And of course, like I revisited and just to do the review, but of course just to check it out again and see how it holds up. Definitely worth revisiting. If you're trying it for the first time, all I'm gonna say is good luck. The game can feel very hard at first, like the mechanics, but once you get used to it and you get used to the story, just be ready for the crazy people in the mansion, in this asylum. That's all I gotta say, and it's quite scary. Yeah, rating for the game, I think, taking into consideration like today's horror game standards, I think Outlast today would be a solid 7 out of 10 for Outlast. And yeah, that is my final score for Outlast. Like, I think a 7 out of 10 is solid enough. And yeah, I appreciate you guys for checking out this video. This is the end of my video. If you like this video, please go ahead and leave a like. If you've got something to say, let me know in the comment section below. I've been Gamerverse, and of course I will see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching, guys.